These are long-range strike weapons that have a range of around 1,500 kilometres. We are only the third nation in the world to acquire this advanced capability, and it provides a strong deterrence for the Australian Defence Force against any potential aggressor. This is incredibly important. Only by deterrence can we promote strategic balance in our region and promote peace and stability as well. Importantly, we are complementing this by our investments in domestic missile manufacturing through the guided weapons and explosive enterprise, where we will be manufacturing missiles by the end of 2025 in Australia. So all of these announcements are consistent with the Defence Strategic Review, which recommended significant investment in long-range strike for the Australian Defence Force to place a question mark in the adversary's eyes, to provide stronger deterrence, to promote strategic balance and peace and stability in the region. I'll invite Air Vice Marshal Van Leeuwen to make a few comments, then we'll be very happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Minister. Air Vice Marshal Jerry Van Leeuwen, I'm the Acting Chief of the Guided Weapons and Explosive Ordnance Group. Today's announcement represents significant capability enhancements for both for all three services, our Navy, Army and Air Force. The Defence Strategic Review was very clear in its priorities, setting out for the Guided Weapons and Explosive Ordnance Group to get after our capability effectors for the Joint Force, in particular for long-range strike, for plussing up our Guided Weapons and Explosive Ordnance inventory, and also around domestic manufacture. Today's announcement certainly does provide us with plus up of inventory in terms of the weapons that we are acquiring, and also our long-range strike capability in terms of the Tomahawk missile and AARGM-ER. The domestic manufacturing capabilities that we're working towards, we will go back to government with options by the end of Q2 2024, with plans to commence domestic manufacture by 2025, noting that we already have some domestic manufacturing capabilities resident here in Australia already. Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.
Navy, since its inception, where do you rank this in terms of a giant leap forward in progression of capabilities?
Yeah, this is a significant leap forward for the Royal Australian Navy in terms of our deterrence and our long-range strike capabilities. Clearly, Tomahawk is a weapon that is currently used by the UK and the United States, and we are just the third country as part of an AUKUS partnership to acquire Tomahawk. And of course, once we've got that capability, we will actually be part of that evolution of capability moving forward.
What sort of training will be required? I mean, this is an entirely new world for your men and women.
There is a significant amount of training, and it's not just about acquiring the weapons, but it's also around integrating those weapons into our combat management system and targeting systems, and all of the other fundamentals inputs to capability, including training that we're required to realise the capability.
Describe the capabilities in terms of air, land and sea, how portable they are, how transportable they are, and what you can feasibly do with them.
So in terms of the Tomahawk missile, obviously that's being fitted to our Hobart-class destroyers initially, with plans to obviously integrate those into nuclear-powered submarines into the future. The AARGM-ER represents significant capability for our FA-18F and EA-18G, so the Super Hornet and Growler aircraft, and it's all around suppression and destruction of enemy air defences in terms of mission. And of course the Spike LR2 is an anti-tank guided missile that we fitted to our Boxer combat reconnaissance vehicles. So it represents good joint force capability across the force.
What's happened to make this announcement possible today? What's been the step forward where you can actually make the announcement?
The announcement today reflects a decision by the National Security Committee of Cabinet to acquire these weapons. This is why we're announcing it today, because the government has decided to acquire these weapons. It's really important to set the scene for this. We are placing this long-range strike missile, the Tomahawk, one of the most advanced missiles in the world, on our most advanced naval vessel, the Air Warfare Destroyer. We are placing the Spike anti-tank missile on our most advanced Army vehicles, the Boxer combat reconnaissance vehicle being made in Brisbane right now, and eventually on our infantry fighting vehicles that will be made in Geelong. So this is all about complementing our capabilities through strong funding decisions by the Albanese Labor government.